Hey, how's it going, Three Acorn Bourbon? So we're here at a whiskey drop, Montgomery County, Gaithersburg store in Maryland. They have a pretty good list. We got some the Jack Daniel's Twice Barrel Special Release. We got some Weller 107 on the list. There's some Stag, only 6 bottles though. I think I'm out of the running for that. What my alarm was for like 1:30 a.m. Got here like 30 minutes later, but with daylight savings it became 3 a.m. So I've been here for like 5.5 hours, and it's gonna be a couple more hours here. 7:30, store opens at noon, so another 4.5 hours. It's been a pretty good group. So here we are. We got the man himself, number one. Got a couple, there's probably about 50 people here so far. Coming all the way back here. I think I'm number 26. Here's my chair. No, I've not had the rye before. Also had this Bottled and Bond Rocket Top, Redwood. This Starlight Store pick is extremely good. I think I prefer the Joseph Magnus one I did a review on not too long ago, but this one's excellent. I'm always looking for some good weeded stuff. I've heard mixed reviews on this Larceny Barrel Proof, but man, this one's pretty good. The Montgomery County liquor stores in Maryland do their drops second Saturday of every month at 10 a.m. So I was here at 2 in the morning yesterday. And so I was sitting here, I was the first one in line. I parked in this parking lot over here, and I set up my chair. I checked the rules, making sure I could actually get 2 different bottles. And the rules clearly state that there's certain special months, March being one of them, where they do it on Sunday. Turns out I was 24 hours early, and I'm not gonna sit here for 36 hours. It's not gonna happen. But we're back. It's Sunday. We're here at the right time, here on the right day. Pretty excited for my shot at some Jack Daniel's Twice Barreled, but I also have a shot at some Weller 107. You mind if I ask you what time you got here?
6 o'clock yesterday morning.
6 o'clock yesterday morning. So you've been here 24 hours, and it would have been plus 6, so 30 hours total by the time the store opens?
Yeah.
Awesome. Good man. Cool. And what are you hoping to get?
It says Jack Daniel's Twice Barreled and the Stag.
Do we know if the Jack Daniel's Twice Barreled is the malt or the rye?
There's no verification yet.
Okay. But either way, you're hoping to get that one?
Way.
The sun's coming up. It's starting to warm up a little bit. Talked to some guy who came in from New Jersey, so it's probably like a 5-6 hour drive.
I'm gonna blame it at barrel proof whiskey at 5 o'clock in the fucking morning. Staying up all day.
You got B523.
Well, I made sure to actually go to bed before fucking 9 o'clock last night, just
so
knowing
132.
this was gonna happen today.
Oh, they still have a B523.
Of which one?
Oh, the Elijah
Yeah.
Cooper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I would call that a success, huh? Well, hey everybody, welcome back to Three Acorn Bourbon. I have a pretty exciting bite-sized bourbon review for you guys today. Today we're going to dig into some of the spoils from our Maryland bourbon drop. You know, the one where I woke up at 2:30 in the morning on the wrong day and drove an hour to a shop that was closed and wasn't doing the drop until the following day. Yeah, that one. But it's okay, because we got what we were after. And this little one just woke up from a nap and doesn't want to be put down. And she's my little princess, and she gets what she wants. And today we're going to hit the Jack Daniel's Special Release. This is a Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Special Release for 2023. It's a twice barreled Jack Daniel's rye, the second barreling being in what they call heritage barrels, which are basically like really heavily toasted. So it's single barrel, but it's not barrel proof. It's bottled at 100 proof, so it shouldn't drink too hot. It comes on the heels of their 2022 special release, which was an American single malt Jack Daniel's special release. And while this one is twice aged in the heritage barrels, the 2022 American malt whiskey was aged in the Oloroso sherry barrels. Now, I've not tried the 2022 release, but I've heard very good things about this one. Now, the goal behind these special releases is to highlight some sort of annual innovation from Jack Daniel's. Now, this 2023 special release is 70% rye, 18% corn, and 12% single American malt. And it's twice barreled, the second barreling being in these heritage barrels. And that's supposed to be kind of the 2023 big innovation. So the 2023 single barrel special release is aged 5 years in the traditional New American oak barrels, and then it's supposed to get an additional 2 in the heritage barrels, those heavily toasted heritage barrels. Though some sources say it's 2.5 years. So if you see it on the shelves and you want to taste it, I recommend picking it up early, because it's not going to be around. So again, this guy's bottled at 100 proof, similar to their other bottled and bond stuff. And the MSRP is for $70. Hopefully some of you guys out there looking for it can find it for $70, but I wouldn't expect that on the secondary market. Now what's cool about this special release is a lot of distilleries have special releases that are all about the age, or the super high proof. But that's not what this one's about. This is really all about the barrel. Jack Daniel's is pushing the idea that it's the twice aged in the heritage barrel that really sets this whiskey apart. Also of interest, this is the oldest rye ever released by Jack Daniel's. I think that's enough talking about it. Let's get into the tasting notes. Alright, I think that's enough talking. Excuse me? Alright, that's enough talking about it, so let's get into the tasting note. Can I finish my line, please? Let's get into the tasting notes. Man, look at that. So let's get into it. Start with the smell. This smells fantastic. It's like rice spice, but predominantly it's like a bunch of dark fruit. It's like raisins and figs. It smells like toasted oak. Lots of brown sugar. And you get some of that classic plantain, that Jack Daniel's banana. There's honey. I know I said caramel, but it's kind of pushing past, almost into a toffee. And then you get some nuttiness from that toasted heritage barrel. Man, I just can't get over that color. Let's take a sip. I mean, right off the bat, it's oak. I mean, a lot of oak. And that rides through the entire palate. You get brown sugar, caramel, and there's a lot of really good rice spice. Nice emphasis on cinnamon. You still get those dark fruits, primarily that raisin. And some of that sweetness kind of pushes that into fig, and then you get the oak, some brown sugar, and some oak. You get a little bit of that banana and that plantain from Jack Daniel's, and oak, and some dark baker's chocolate, and it's nutty. Then you get a little bit of herbal stuff, like a little bit of mint almost. It's good, it's complex, and if you like oak, this one's for you. So now for the finish. To be honest with you, with the palate, I was worried this was going to be a one-note finish. It was just going to be oak and charred oak all the way through. But that isn't the case. I think oftentimes with these less well-crafted whiskeys, a lot of that sweetness and complexity leaves as soon as you swallow. But that's not the case here. I mean, I'm getting plenty of oak, don't get me wrong. But it's balanced by some of that sweet dried fruit. Again, I keep getting this sort of spiced raisin sweetness. And you get a little bit of like dark wheat bread. Mouth feels a little buttery. You get a subdued rice spice, cinnamon, and it kind of moves its way into a kind of salty, kind of leathery taste. And it fades with maybe a hint of baker's chocolate, maybe a hint of that dark chocolate, but if you're looking for chocolate, this probably isn't the right finish for you. I think it's really good, I think it's really interesting. And for the whiskey itself, I wouldn't be paying the secondary prices of $150, $200. But I don't think whiskey is only about the aesthetics. I don't think it's only about the flavor and only about the aroma. It might be kind of an unpopular opinion, but I do think there's a story behind a lot of these whiskeys. And I think knowing that story and knowing that background enhances how much I enjoy the whiskey. It's certainly a placebo effect, but the placebo effect works. And it works with this whiskey. But I think there is a coolness factor with it being a Jack Daniel's 2023 limited release, twice barrel, pushing the bounds of innovation at Jack Daniel's, testing the craftsmanship of the Coopers. But I think the story and the background of a whiskey does impact my overall enjoyment of it. Got one more thing I gotta show you. It was my birthday recently, and my parents, out of the blue, surprised me with a little gift. So I'm pretty excited about this old rip. We'll have to crack it open, do a bite-sized review here pretty soon. Thanks, Mom. Well, that's it for today, everyone. And remember, folks, whiskey is made for sharing. So open your bottles, make some memories, and I'll catch you in the next one.